Card delight, trading cards. It's time to join the conversation. Take a journey into the trading card hall.
Okay, hi, good evening, everyone. Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are. This is Chris here from Stormgate Games in Malaysia, and with me is my good friend.
Hi everyone, Geoffrey here from Invader Sport Game Station in Indonesia.
Yeah, and here we are, the duo for for trading card talk, and we missed last week because everyone's so busy, and because some of us unfortunately had to have our pre-releases later. So yeah, and I also was actually participating a little bit in some Magic pre-releases. Yeah. Okay, so Jeffrey. So I think tonight, I think as we were talking early on before we started recording, I thought it would be good for us to share a bit about our pre-release experiences. Um, and then let's bear in mind. I'm actually trying to make this pod. My goal is actually trying to make this pod friendly. I was actually chatting with a friend in one of my networking circles, right? And I started to share our podcast to people, and he was like, he doesn't play card games, and I was saying, oh, it's very hard to understand. And then I realized because our subject matter is actually very, you need to know the games, right? So I'm just seeing,
Yeah, I think so.
and I'm just trying to see how we can make it friendly to people who don't play card games, and hopefully our pod will be able to help other people. You know, I mean, people who don't play card games will give it a try.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I think maybe for everyone's benefit, who is listening to this pod, who does not play card games, a pre-release is something that quite a number of games do, and it's actually an opportunity for fans of the game or players of the game to actually get a taste of the new set. You know, it always happens 1 week before a set releases. So in the case of the game that we love, Flesh and Blood, and also games like Magic the Gathering, usually 1 week before, there will be an opportunity for people to go to stores to get a taste of the new set to see if they like it or not. And also for those who are excited to actually try the new set out. And how usually it works is that we will get a number of packs that we can then open up, and then all of us are expected to try to build a deck, and then we play with it for the evening or the afternoon or whenever a pre-release is run. Yeah. So we just had a bunch of pre-releases happen in the world of card games. 2 weeks ago, Malaysia had our Rosetta pre-release, and last weekend we had a Magic pre-release itself for the new set Dustmon. And Geoffrey over in Indonesia, our friends there had to have their pre-release a bit later, which was last week. So Geoffrey, why don't you start off with your pre-release? What was the experience like? What did you like
Yes.
about it? Yeah. What hero did you play? Yeah.
Mhm. So in Indonesia, we had the pre-release for Rosetta 1 week later than the actual pre-release date because some slight distribution issues. But yeah, fortunately, we still could host the pre-release event. It's something like an early access for you to try the newest set from the next release of the card game. So in this case, in the Fashion Blood, we have Rosetta,
Yep.
and it's themed around arcane damage. We have rune blades and wizards in the
Yep.
sets, and I joined two pre-release events last week.
Ah.
One in my store in Invaders, and one in one of my friends' store. The name is Sini Duduk.
Okay. I've heard of Sini Dudok. I think, yeah,
Yeah.
someone told me.
So in
Maybe it was
Invaders, I
you, yeah.
tried.
Mm.
Invaders, I tried playing Aurora, the
Mm.
lightning rune hero from the set.
Uh-huh.
I got trashed. And then
Oh,
on Sunday in City Duduk, I played Florian, which is the
yeah.
Earth rune hero. It's my comfort zone, so I managed to win 3 games using Florian in City
Wow.
Duduk.
Awesome. I
Also,
only.
also, what- also
Mhm.
one thing that is special that I need to mention is when we when we did the pre-release in City Duduk,
Uh-huh.
this actually collaborated with Iswar Deterianto,
Uh-huh.
and they gave away one artist proof card to one lucky winner.
Wow.
So we
Awesome.
raffled that card.
Yeah.
and one lucky guy gets the artist proof. So artist proof is some kind of like a proof card hand drawn by the artist
Yeah. Yeah.
u- using a special card from I think from one of the card that they made the art of, and they
Yeah.
have this white back and they draw hand draw something
Yeah.
on that.
Correct. Yeah, I think in the early days of the business, when I first started my store, I was very curious about all these different things, right? And I found out that actually, when an artist is engaged by LSS
Hmm.
to do art for the cards, artists all get a certain number of artist proofs that they can use to help to bolster their income. And the artist proofs usually, like I think you've seen some before, right? It usually contains the card. The front of one of it will be the card, actual card. You can see the art with the text, I think, and then the back of it will be blank, so that the artist can sketch something for people. Yeah, pretty awesome. Yeah. So what was the sketch? What was on the sketch card? What did Iswadi draw?
Of course, it's Blaze, the fireman.
Oh, okay, cool, Blaze. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a hero that I
So
don't know whether we ever see play anytime soon. I don't know. I've not seen a Blaze before except for during skirmish, right? That was the only time I saw
yeah,
the Blaze Cold Fall. Since then I've not seen anything not even the Rainbow Fall
yes.
version.
Well, speaking of
Yeah.
skirmish season, there's
Mhm.
one little trivia that is quite interesting. So we had two skirmish events in Jakarta. I think
Uh-huh.
it was last month, right? Skirmish was last month, right?
Actually, skirmish wasn't that long ago, right? It was just like barely a
I
month and a half.
really? Yeah.
I think I don't know. It
So
seemed like everything is so fast. It's like we had skirmish, and then after that, I think not long after that, I was preparing
yeah. There's so many
for
events.
pre-release, and then after that, now I've got magic stuff happening as well. I don't have pre-releases yet because I'm not WPN, but yeah, soon, hopefully by Foundations, the next magic set, I'll get WPN and be able to run pre-release and get the excitement for magic as well.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So yeah, you played Aurora and Florian. I
Yep.
only played in one pre-release. I was actually my store had I think we had about like 14 to no about 14 to 15 people. I can't remember now. Yeah, we didn't hit our cap. Yeah, I think we had 17 people, something like that, right? If I'm not mistaken. I can go back and check the numbers. But it was actually someone couldn't make it, so he actually got me to play on his behalf. So I basically used up my luck for him, right? So in his 8 packs, when I was cracking the packs to build a deck, I actually pulled a Marvel young Florian for him. Yeah,
Oh, nice.
cool. Yeah, it's like in all the pre-releases I've actually organized in my store or participated in elsewhere, right? I always get nothing, right? But this time when I play for someone, I'm using I pick the packs and then I pull the Marvel. Yeah.
Nice.
And yeah, then the awesome thing also was I was happy for him, of course, right? I mean, I'm always happy when a member of my community or a customer pulls a good card.
Hmm.
And then at the end of the event, we gave out 2 extra packs as participation packs, and I picked the 2 packs for him, right? And then I put a Marvel Sigil of Lightning. So I
Two
think I used
Marvels.
up.
Nice.
Yeah, correct. I used up all my luck on Rosetta on him. Well, anyways, so cool. Right? He was so happy, right? Yeah. So at least I think I made
Yeah.
him happy. And I got to play. I got to have fun playing as well. And I built Florian, and I quite like. Yeah, I had to because I wasn't paying full attention during previous season, and during the whole world's no, correct, the whole world premiere. I wasn't
Mhm.
really watching much because I was really busy with all kinds of stuff, and especially Magic, right? I always talk about Magic now, this sport, because I have to like get into the game a lot. So I was paying a lot more attention to Magic because I've got a lot to learn about the game. So then I just built from what I could read in the cards, right? So I basically built a Florian deck, and it felt very like much like a Guardian, right? You were blocking a
Yeah.
lot.
True. Yep.
And then I think in the pools I got from the packs, I got that instant that allowed you to sink a card and then you could prevent 5 damage, which was pretty cool. Yeah, so I think it was quite fun to play Florian. You were blocking quite a bit, and then when you decompose, you can do quite a lot of big attacks for like so low
Yeah.
cost, right? Like 2 costs to hit for 8, one of the cards, right? And it's a common, I think. It's pretty cool.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I had pretty much had fun playing Florian. We didn't do a full 3 rounds in the store because I just wanted it to be casual and fun. We just played
Hmm.
2 rounds, and I lost the first round to, I can't remember, was it Auxilio? I know my second game I won against an Aurora. The first one was it an Auxilio? I can't remember now. Anyways, I didn't win one game. I won one game. So yeah, so that was my experience. It was pretty
Nice.
cool. It was casual. We played. We all up was had fun. Yeah, and we saw. I think we saw quite a bit of Aurora. There's some Auxilios as well that were being played, right? Yeah, I think Auxilio's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think at my store there was an even number of heroes that are represented. Like we have some Florian, some Aurora, some Auxilio, and also some Fordamus.
Yeah, I
There
didn't. Yeah.
was, I think there was 24 people that attended my pre-release,
Wow.
and
Yeah.
yeah, nice pulls all around. I did pull the new Earth Chest Legendary, the Bark skin of the
Oh,
Millennium
nice.
King.
Was it a rainbow fall or cold fall?
Yeah, the Rainbow Foil. And the Cold Foil one, I actually got the, you know how they have this, like some kind of like Rosetta title card that,
Yeah. The cold fall Rosetta title card, right?
yeah, I actually pulled that one.
Oh, okay. Okay. I've not seen it in person. I don't know. I've seen photos of it, but I haven't seen it in person. Is it really nice, the card?
It is really nice. It is really nice.
Yeah.
And
So
I think one of the funnest thing to do in Rosetta is about the new puzzle cards that they make.
yeah. I've seen a couple of people who actually have like a whole page where they manage to complete
Yeah.
all nine. And then some are missing like one only, or and then they're trying to complete it. Yeah, it's quite fun when you see the binder has that all nine cards there, right? Yeah, that's cool. I think that's a very nice
Yeah.
start. You can make
Everyone
your
was really excited. Everyone was really excited to complete their
yeah.
collection.
It takes you back to when you're younger and you're just trading your cards to just do something cool, right? Not you're not
Yeah.
worried about card value and all that. Yeah. So between Florin and Aurora, which hero do you like the best?
Definitely Florian.
Florin, yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. Okay.
I can't really say I hate Aurora, but I just don't see her as a rune bit. I
Hmm.
refuse to acknowledge her as rune bit.
Oh, really?
She just plays
Okay.
she just plays a lot like Ninja.
Yeah, but I like the idea of Aurora being able to hit you at the end of a combat chain with like bunch of arcane damage, pure arcane damage. That's quite
Yeah, but
interesting.
I think that one is a little bit more like Auxilio. You play physical, and then you amp with your stuff and do a bazillion arcane damage at the end of your chain.
Yeah. So to all of you who don't play Flash and Blood, the reason why this site's interesting is because it's got a lot of magic damage in it, and usually
Mhm.
in Flash and Blood we are just punching each other with our knives and whatever, right? But in this site you have a lot of magic damage. The player gets hit, and in Flash and Blood you don't block normally as how you would against physical damage. I think that's what makes this set interesting. Yeah. So I didn't have a chance to face off against Auxilio. I think if I remember correctly, my first opponent was a Redance. I remember now, so that's why I lost.
Mm,
So yeah, it's a definitely an interesting set. Unfortunately, now my attention is split, and because my mind is consumed all now by Magic,
yeah, with
I just
Dustborn
yeah,
coming
and
up also.
I also actually personally can't afford to put money in 2 games, right? I mean, so a lot of my pools right now are going to Magic because I really want to get into the game and understand it. Yeah, it's working. I'm beginning to appreciate Magic, to understand and to see the differences between both
Mhm.
games. And now I think right now in the store, I'm able to give a more neutral view to help any new player who comes in who wants to try a game, because I really do see that some people will enjoy Flash and Blood because it's a much more reactive, responsive type of game. But there's also some people who just like to cast spells and create creatures, which is what
Yeah,
it is, right? So I'm learning to enjoy both games and to let people enjoy the card games they want to enjoy. yeah. So and also because my poor Techno wasn't isn't doing too great now. So I like just taking a bit of a step back from playing. But I do think I will be playing in the Calling KL, which is happening in December. So I decided to
Nice.
I give it a shot, lah, right? I mean I'm now working
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
I'm
You
now
should definitely.
I'm now collaborating with a startup called Collector, which is a collectible platform. So they recently started looking at Flashable a lot, which is why I'm able
Mhm.
to collaborate with them. And then I said to a bunch of them, I say, hey, now, why don't we just go and let's just form a team. And then I think I got a group of 6 people who are from my store and a bunch of other, another store as well to see, hey, let's just go together, have fun. And then Collector will probably, hopefully be able to sponsor a little bit like a t-shirt or whatever. And then we can all go together, have fun. So yeah. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. I don't know how well I'll do. I don't even know right now what hero I'll play. I know if I
Yeah,
know if I don't know if I don't know. I think if I take Teklo Watson over my build of Teklo Watson, I don't think
you know what?
that well. Yeah, I don't know.
Tackleverson right now, there's been a lot of discussion with Tackleverson right now
Uh-huh.
with the new cards, the count your blessing cards. So you play fatigue Tackleverson with all of your armor and all your healings.
Is it? Oh, I don't know. I just don't like the idea of playing a deck like that. I mean, whenever I
Yeah.
look at mechanologies, right? Because mechanologies have got mechanics like boost where you can banish a card from the top of your deck to to your
Mhm.
banish zone to give you go again, or you have things mechanics like scrap where you can exile a card from graveyard. I mean, banish a card from graveyard. I just feel like that the mechanologies should be pure thematically, right? I know it doesn't make
Yeah.
sense to meet the meta, but whenever I look at mechanologies as a class, I always feel that it should be pure. It should be like a robot, steampunk kind of thing.
I
Anyways, that's just
agree
me.
100% with you. I agree
Yeah,
100% with
yeah,
you.
yeah. So it always feels like I think Techno Watson when it first came out, I think someone won one of the tournaments over in the US, right? But when I look at the
Mhm.
build, I didn't feel like I would like it because the build had a lot of non-mechanologist cards in it, like Sigil of Solace and stuff like that. And then like even my Blitz Techno Watson now, I don't quite like it. I know how it's supposed to play. I know how to play it, but it's got like Sing Below. And it's like that's not a mechanologist card. It's got Fit for Scene. That's not a mechanologist card. And it's got CG of Solace. Oh, that's not a mechanologist card. It just feels like it's polluting the deck. Anyway,
Yeah. So
yeah.
calling KL, I think right now we Indonesia also are planning to come, I think, but we are still waiting for the world's contingent to come back and see how we plan out our KL trip after the
Cool,
World
cool.
Championship.
Yeah, come on. I would love to meet all of you again. Let me know if you can come earlier, then we can plan and do something. I'm actually hoping to be able to do something for calling to be able to promote the event further. Uh, so yeah, so we'll see how. Hopefully, I'll be able that can happen, and then we'll be able to get a bigger explosion for Flash and Blood in Malaysia.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm already hoping to be able to get that to happen. So yeah, in the midst of some talks now. So we'll see. And well, yeah, also recently Malaysia we had a big exhibition called Level Up. That was 2 weeks ago, the same
Oh,
time as the pre-release, right? And Level Up is actually an event for digital content, IP-based games and things like that, right? IP-based creations, and Flash and Blood had a huge booth there filled with Rosetta. I mean, it was decorated fully in Rosetta colors. Very nice. I went there on a Friday, which was like, what date was that? I went there on a Friday on the 13th, I think. I was there. Yeah, it was the 13th of September, Friday the 13th, which was the day of my
nice.
release. So
Mhm.
I was
I think
actually there. Yeah, I was there in the afternoon. I walked around because I was attending a Bushi Road networking session
Mhm, mhm.
to look at games. I'm looking at games like Vanguard right now. So I was there. I met some people on Bushi Road, and after that, I came out and then I, of course, explored the floor because I managed to get a free pass to go in, right? But yeah, so I just hung around there. I checked it out. Collector, one of the people I'm collaborating with had a booth there, and then there was the Rosetta like flagship booth. It was exciting to see so many people. I mean, people that I knew obviously in the community, teaching people to play. And Friday wasn't that busy, but I knew from talking to people that Saturday and Sunday had a lot of people trying the game, and that was pretty awesome. Yeah, yeah. So it's very
That
fun to
sounds cool.
see. Yeah, it's very cool to see. I think it was the most outstanding booth in the show that day. Bushiroad had a lot of Bushiroad had a big presence there. But the Rosetta booth was very well done. It was like, I mean, I personally don't like the green color that Rosetta is using now, right, for the box and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not. It's a preference. I'm not saying it's not pretty or anything. It's just that I personally don't like the color scheme. But yeah, I was there. It was green. It stood out, and like there a lot of people teaching. We had like I think we had an army of paid volunteers who were there teaching people to play the game. It was pretty fun to see. It was very exciting to see. I hope we can see more players. And with the calling KL happening in December, I really hope.
Did the event give out? Did the event give out Blaze promo card?
I don't know. I didn't really. Obviously, I didn't go there and say I want to play. Right? Everyone knows me anyway. So most of the people that know me. So I didn't.
All right.
I didn't participate in the program. I was just excited. I was talking to Mage, who's one of our one of the people in the business, right? And he was there to actually check out the booth as well to see how things were going, because this is the first time that in Malaysia that the brand actually has and our distributor for Southeast Asia has invested in a huge event like this. The event is definitely an expensive one because the booth was really top notch. So yeah, I was more talking to people about in the business about various things. But yeah, so I didn't really go through the experience. I don't even know whether the promos given out. All I know is I saw people playing with the Ira decks, and I was like, okay,
Nice.
yeah.
I think I saw the photos flying around in social media for the past few weeks, I think. And now that you mention it, in I think next month we will also have an expo called Indonesia Game Expo, where there's a lot of game publisher and
Okay.
a lot of game publisher that come to the expo and have booths. I think there's the concept of past games, present games, and future games. And one of the games that we will have in the expo is Flesh and Blood.
Nice. Yeah, I think right now LSS is actually actively looking to promote the game in a bigger way. In Europe, I think in the US as well, Gen Con, Flesh and Blood had a big presence there. I think in the UK, I think UK Games Expo, I can't remember the name. They also had the big Mistfield booth there, right? And now Kuala Lumpur, I'm very excited to see it. I mean, I knew that it was coming because obviously I'm in the business. I have discussions with on the business side on all that. So I was always aware that something's going to happen. But it was really awesome to see. I think a lot of hard work went to it. Very proud to see some of the Malaysians who are in the business now putting a foot forward to help the game grow. Obviously, there's a lot of money involved, right? So it's actually an investment into Malaysia as well. So really appreciate LSS and the distributors, all that, taking their revenue, some of the profits and investing it back in our countries. Yeah.
So next month, 26th to 27th of October, and it's thanks to the efforts of our local distributor. Up the booth.
Yeah, correct. I think it's a step forward. I think the business of card in Southeast Asia still needs a lot of work. But I think it's getting better. So I hope it gets more professional. Then we can see more growth, because usually I think card games and things and businesses like us, like ours now, right? It tends to be a little bit not too developed, because I come from a multinational before, so I always feel that we can always do things better, because everyone sometimes seems to treat the business itself as a hobby, which it shouldn't be, right? Because in order to support the community, I mean, we have to be healthy as businesses as well, right? Yeah. But it's good. I mean, I'm really excited. I was very excited to see the booth. I was like, wow, the booth looks so nice. Yeah, definitely stands out. Although I wish it was the Mistfield blue color though. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Mistfield feels a bit more fresh than Rosetta, I think. But that's just the theme of the set, I think. So
I mean, it had a lot of ephemeral keywords and things like that, which made it feel very mystical and magical, right? Eastern magical, not like Dungeons and Dragons magical. Yeah. Anyways, so Rosetta is out now, folks. If you want to give it a shot or try the game out, visit a store near you, whether it's Jakarta or whether it's Kuala Lumpur. In Malaysia, we have quite a number of stores who have it all around Klang Valley. You can visit a store near you, or you can go to down south in Johor. I know there's one store that's doing it now. and also up north in Penang. I think there's one store in Kuantan that has it. Kuantan is in Pahang, the circuit. Yeah, in Indonesia, obviously Jakarta, Bali, hopefully other places
Yeah.
as well, Indonesia. Yeah, try the
In
game out.
Indonesia, I think the most active one is of course Jakarta. Second one is
Yeah.
Bali. Then we have Surabaya, and then right now Bandung is also starting to pick up Flesh and Blood. So we have those
Cool,
core cities.
cool. Yeah, I think the thing about card games in our countries in Southeast Asia is that usually the people who can afford card games are mostly in the cities, right? But I hope to be able to try to introduce a bit of a small revolution, because a lot of times when we play card games, even in Magic as well, I notice a lot of times Asians like to just play tier one decks, which are quite expensive, right? Not just quite, sometimes very expensive. So I think there should be a place where people can play tier 2 decks, tier 3 decks, and just have fun. I mean, if you got like a box of cards, just build a deck and play. You don't always have to have like the command and conquerors and all these expensive cards. Like in Magic, there's Sheldred, right? In standard, Sheldred is a 300 ringgit card in Malaysia. It's like wow. And then like if you need to have 4 copies, that's 1,200 ringgit. That's a lot of money. Yeah. But you can always play with the cards that you have, right? I think there's something a lot of card gamers have kind of forgotten, that when you're kids, right, you just play with what you have. If your mom bought you 5 boosters, you just open the 5 boosters and you try to build something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to play competitively. I mean,
Yeah.
casual play is also fun, I think.
Correct. I agree.
You know how they say kitchen table play, I think.
Yeah, but you can also play kitchen table style in the store as well, right? I mean,
Yeah.
support the store, buy a pack or two. I mean,
And they
yeah, store owners don't expect much. I mean, we just really hope that people will be able to support the store, whilst we also do our best to bring people into the game. Ultimately, card games are disposable income spend, right? So yeah, I think it's a bit of both ways. I think card game business, card stores, local game stores are two-way street, right? The communities need also to think about what we're trying to do, and then we on our part as hobby stores need to do our best as well to grow the business, get more players. There's a lot of hard work, like yeah. Anyways, so I think that's yeah, and then give people ways to play. That can be inexpensive. You can play high level play. Up to you. I mean, at the end of the day, the players need to choose and decide where they want to play. They shouldn't feel like they're forced to play a particular format, right? Yeah. Anyways, heroes. Yeah, moving forwards, heroes. Do you want to go to heroes, or you want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, I think for casual players out there going forward, LSS is starting to expand their product lines to cater to casual players, like something like the first strike decks, the blitz deck collection. You can just pick it up, open the decks, and start playing with your friends. Have fun.
Yeah.
And if you want to be a little bit more competitive, they also
Yeah.
have the starting point of armory decks right now.
Yeah, I think the armory decks are
also
quite
help.
good. Yeah, armory decks are actually quite
Yeah.
good, right? Yeah, actually really good. Yeah, I myself am planning for Rosetta not to really. I mean, I will eventually build a Rosetta hero probably sometime down the road when I fully understood Magic and I can balance my personal spend on both card games. But I think right now for me, Rosetta, I'll probably engage with it just with the Blitz, I call it the Blitz collection. That's where
Yeah.
I don't intend to upgrade them, right? Yeah, even for what you call it, for Mistral, I also didn't really build a new deck. I started assembling the components, but then just recently, I mean, my finances are a bit tight also, right? So I actually liquidated some of my staple cards like Command and Conquer and all that. Yeah, partly for the business because I really need to have money in the business. Secondly, I realized I wasn't playing competitively anyways, and a friend of mine recently just decided, why don't let's just consolidate our cards, and then we can actually play whatever heroes we want, but we also can help manage our budget. Yeah, because I used to buy all kinds of cards, right? And then I realized that I build this deck, 10 heroes, and I'm like, I only play with 2 heroes or 1 hero only. And then what am I doing with these other heroes? What's the point? Yeah, so that this was a sudden realization I had, and I'm putting more money in Magic now because I really want to get to the game. I'm having a lot of fun now looking at Eldrazi, which is a Titan race.
Playing Magic.
Yeah, I'm playing quite a bit of Magic now actually. Yeah. Anyway, let's
which formats? Standards, modern?
I actually built some standard decks and some modern decks with the cards I have. I have quite a fair bit of Assassin's Creed cards from the previous release before Bloomberg. So I actually built all Assassin's Creed, 2 all Assassin's Creed decks from the starter kits, and then like a friend of mine helped me to like figure out an idea. So I know how Magic works now, right? So actually I'm messing around with those myself. So I've got 2 Assassin's Creed decks, modern decks. Yeah, but it's all Assassin's Creed cards only. It's not competitive at all. Yeah. I also built some.
I think even the Assassin's Creed cards looks cool.
Yeah, they are cool. They are. I actually quite like the set. I regret not buying more for the store so I can open a bit myself. Anyways, so yeah, I got Assassin's Creed modern decks, 2 modern decks there. I got a whole bunch of Assassin's Creed cards as well, which I can build something. I've also got I built 3 standard decks out of Bloomberg only cards because those are the cards that I have the most, right? So I built a mono black, I built a mono white, I built a green red deck. Yeah, so I haven't played as much with them. I was having a bit of fun, and then now suddenly I've been looking at Commander, and then I fell in love with this Titan race in Magic called the Eldrazi. So Eldrazi are like these creatures who come from. So in Magic, it's about multiverse, right? The lore of the game. So in Magic, there's this race called the Eldrazi, and they live in this thing called the Blind Eternity. So in Magic, you have all the different planes, like different worlds, right? But in between the worlds, there's this portion of that the planeswalkers can't explore called the Blind Eternities. I mean, most planeswalkers can't go into this funny dimension, right? And these Eldrazi actually come from that dimension, and they're actually quite nasty creatures. What they do is when they arrive on the plane, they start to destroy the plane and consume all the mana in the plane. And so in Magic, the whole game is built around mana, right? Around different types of mana, which is like the blue color mana, red color, based on the lands, right? And so these creatures actually come and they devour a plane. So, and they look very freaky. I quite like them. They're like big titans, and they have white. They usually colored white, a bit of red and purple.
White passion, cosmic being, something like that.
Yeah. And they all have. They are a bit like Cthulhu type creatures, right?
Yeah.
And they all have tentacles, and they're super powerful creatures. And I quite enjoy the way they're depicted, right? So that's what attracted me to it. Also because a friend of mine kept whenever I play Commander, he was the one who introduced me. I said, hey, check out this deck. So I said, okay. Then time when we play, he will loan me the deck to play. After playing for a while, I'm like, oh, I like this style of play, right? You summon this nasty creature, it drops on the board, and then he destroys things. I mean, some of the cards in the Eldrazi decks can destroy land because they can destroy all permanents because they got this keyword called Annihilator. And in Magic, when the Eldrazi card attacks, the Annihilator keyword triggers immediately upon attack. So after that, what happens is that the opponent needs to destroy 4, like for example, if it says Annihilator 2, upon attack, even before any blocking happens, right? The opponent has to destroy 2 permanents on the board. Right? So if they've got no choice, sometimes they have to destroy land, sometimes they've got to destroy a creature. It's so fun. I know it sounds evil, but yeah, but having a lot of fun with that. So that's where my Magic journey has gone in now. I mean, I've been opening quite a bit of Modern Horizons 3 because I'm like looking for Eldrazi stuff in there. Because they're so cool. Then I look at the cards and I read what they do, and I see the creatures in there. I'm like, oh, this is all very cool. It's very grotesque and cool. Yeah. But having said that, it's not that I've abandoned Flesh and Blood. I am paying attention as well. I was just having a conversation with which moves on to our next topic, but what heroes we think will take the lead in next meta. And I've been talking to various people about who we think will take the lead as Rosetta comes in and all the new rune late cards come in, right? And I think that Winsett, I've been talking to some people. I think Winsett's now supercharged. I think Winsett should be able to see more success.
Winsett is really strong right now.
Yeah, she's gotten quite a number of cards that help with the rune gating, right? That's what I'm told. I haven't seen it in action yet. And I think Viscera is making a comeback, right? Because we got a whole bunch of new rune late cards that will really power up this hero, right? Yeah. So I think my picks are these 2. Unfortunately, I can't vote for my own hero, Teglo Horsen. I don't think he's there yet. Yeah. What about you? What do you think? Who do you think will be the new heroes that will be really popular coming to ProQuest season?
So yeah, I think with the new rune break cards, Vincent and Viserai will go up a tier, I think. So they at least will be tier A, low A, high B.
Yeah, yeah.
Because of the new majestic cards is just so powerful
Mm-hmm.
that came in the Rosetta set. But I think both of them are uh, still susceptible to Warmonger's diplomacy, and
Ah,
there
correct.
is still some decks that are natural carrier of Warmonger's diplomacy, which I think will be the in the higher tier in the meta, which it will be one is Enigma, and the second one is actually Aurora. So I think both of
Oh,
them
okay.
are gonna be super strong.
All right. So you think Aurora
And I
is the
think
sun?
Florian also is also super strong. Florian is some kind of like you play control style at first, and you
Yeah.
decompose a lot of stuff. You banish your earth cards until your hero power is online,
Yeah.
and then shift gear towards more aggressive uh, play style in the
Yeah,
end.
and Florian can hit really hard, right?
Hmm.
Like a bit like a guardian. Yeah.
Yes, it's a bit like a guardian, true. And
Okay.
so
Okay.
Florian is the guardian rune blade, and Aurora is the ninja rune blade.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Correct, correct. Yeah, it feels like that, right? Yeah. Uh, well, I will see. I don't know. I don't even know whether the older heroes or the ones who were stronger before could still be okay.
I think
So
right
so
now Livia is really strong right now.
really? Okay, cool.
Yes, I mean, she lost Art of War, but in Rosetta, she actually got a really nice tech card, which is called Call to the Grave. You can send a card immediately from your deck to your graveyard. And like seeing from other card games, those self mill type of effect is usually pretty strong. Like
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you give
correct,
your
correct.
push
Yeah.
wheel, and I think in Magic there's also some cards that have the similar effect, right?
Correct, correct. In Magic, there's I mean, when you play Magic more, you find that in Magic they do things like sacking their own cards, sacking their own creatures, and things like that. And then as the trade off is that yeah, they lose something on the board or they lose something on their hand. Uh,
Mhm.
but then what happens is that you get a powerful effect. Uh, yeah, I think that's yeah. I mean, yeah, stacking your own card, or banishing your own card, or sending or purposely destroying a card, sending it to graveyard is something that happens a lot in Magic. Um, I'm not sure how that works out in Flash and Blood, because in Flash and Blood you only have a hand of four.
Yep.
So yeah, so I
Mhm.
think you got to set up the play as well, right? You got to probably have a card ready in arsenal, and then with your four card
Yeah.
you can get ready to prepare for your turn, and then maybe take a bunch of damage so that you can keep your hand in order to be able to play the card out and sack the or send the card that you want on your hand to banish. Yeah, I think that works out well for Levia, but yeah, I actually do have a Levia deck. I love the yeah, I love
Yeah.
Leviathan. I've always loved the character. Maybe because I
Yeah.
like mythical creatures. I don't know why. Yeah. Okay.
It's really only via because you want to fill your graveyard with
Yeah.
cards,
Correct.
and there's also a bonus synergy with Beast Within, with Call to the Grave. So Beast Within is a card that when it is sent to the graveyard from anywhere
Yeah.
except the combat chain, you can banish a card from the top of your deck, and if it's
Mhm.
6 or more power, you add it to your hand. So it basically replaces itself.
Hmm. Yeah, we'll see. I
So
mean,
it is in that.
I got to check out some deck lists to see whether I can build a hero. I've always liked
Mhm.
Levia. I think she's an interesting hero. And then she's also one of the demi heroes who can transform, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so Adrian was a Levia main,
Yeah.
and when the card is revealed, the Call to the Grave card is revealed, he was just like very excited.
Yeah, that
he,
means
he
he
jumped
really.
around and shouts like, "Oh my God, this is a really good card," and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that's something about Flash and Blood that a lot of people don't realize, is that when you main a hero, you can immediately recognize whether a card is good from the outside
Yeah,
world. The rest of us who don't play that hero be like, what is this card? I don't know what it does. I don't care. But the hero, the people who play a particular hero, they'll be like, oh, they recognize the card, what it can do, right? Yeah. Cool. So yeah, so I
And
guess that's
right now we also have a wild speculation because when Call to the Grave was announced, and it is a self-mill type of card,
Mhm.
we speculate that maybe in the next set we have heroes that interact with graveyard, which may be Necromancer.
Oh yeah, I know the yeah, okay, that's an interesting theory. Yeah. Okay, guys, you heard it first. Necromancer next set. Yeah, we still haven't spot stuff or teased what's gonna happen next, right? I think that's gonna happen soon because Rosetta is just released. I remember when
Yeah,
we still
I think they're
released,
gonna announce it in World Championship
or could be earlier,
in the
because I
beginning
I,
of the
I
next month.
remember when Mysterio came out, not long after that, it was very short time, right? Less than a month. Then they already started
Yeah.
doing Rosetta. I think they're trying to follow the same marketing timeline of cadence as Magic. Yeah, I mean Magic now. Dustmon is coming. I mean, Dustmon officially releases tomorrow to non-WPN stores, and I suspect within the next 2 to 3 weeks, the marketing train for Foundations, which is Magic's next set, is going to start already. Right? Oh, which reminds me, I need to start working on that. Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's great. That I want to hear. I want to see what the next set is. I'm quite interested because I have no idea what it's going to be in my mind. Magic is
Mhm.
so forthcoming about their sets. You know in advance a lot more about what's coming out. But Flash and Blood is a bit more secretive, which is both good and bad. I think because I don't know what to expect in the next set for Flash and Blood. What kind of set would it be? So a Necromancer set. What's the name of the place where the evil place in Flesh and Blood? Irotel, right? There's this demon place, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
in
maybe
the Shadow
the
Realm.
Shadow Realm, right? That's where Levia's demon thing comes from, right? Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, maybe we'll see. Plasma Fat, right? That's the demon thing. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I mean, I hope there will be. I don't mind seeing a cool dark set coming up from very dark set coming up from Flesh and Blood because you've got a lot of dark heroes there, right? Like Vinsra is such a dark hero. Levia is a very tragic hero as well. Who else?
Mhm.
I don't know. Yeah, some new dark heroes. Yeah, Vincent as well, right? She's quite like metal type of hero. Hmm. Interesting. Okay. Maybe the box is gonna be black. I don't know, black and purple. Yeah, I like those colors, black and purple. Yeah. Okay, cool. So that's our picks. I think we are looking at I mean, like Jeffrey Release, Aurora Florian is going to be something of
Yeah,
a
but I think the
yeah.
top three meta will be Enigma, Livia, and I think the third, I don't know, maybe Aurora. So those three will be the top decks that we need to watch out.
Okay. Do you think the other decks like previously was strong, like for example Azalea and all these, would they be able to hold their own?
Well, I mean, in Flesh and Blood, anyone can win, really. So even if you say that the top three decks will be Enigma, Livia, and Aurora, I think other decks will also find ways to still win from them and win an event.
Yeah, I think because Flash and Blood usually players are specialists, right? Or at least class
Hmm.
specialists, right? So they always stay within they are experts within their class. I think Flash and Blood is now moving more towards being class specialists as for players because you're just hero specific when your hero living legends or leaves the format, right? It's gonna be a bit tricky for you to figure out what to play next. Yeah, so it's usually better to stick within your own class, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Also cheaper as well. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I
That's a
think.
lie, though. If even if you
No.
want to say you
Okay.
want to focus on a hero, you,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
You
just end up
always.
with another hero as well.
Yeah. You always feel like, oh, that mechanic is good. Like I was before. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I agree. I agree. But actually, if you want to be a bit more budget conscious, or at least be financially
Yeah, yeah.
wise, right? I think Flash and Blood is actually a good game to get into. If you are disciplined and you stay within your class, then your spend actually can be managed pretty well, right? Because you're just going to get a couple of cards that will or either that or just get cards that for your hero class, and then you're
Yeah,
able to add to your collection, build your collection up, and then you have a library of cards you can actually revisit and use for, especially when Living Legends becomes a more well received format. I think that will make the game really go well. More people get to the game. It's true, Flash and Blood is an expensive game to buy into, but I think long term, I think Flash and Blood is a game that's, if you're disciplined, can be a much more budget friendly for long term, right? Because you will only just
Yeah,
add a
true.
couple of cards in,
I agree.
and you only will spend on sets where your hero applies, right? I think that's actually a good thing. Maybe it doesn't do too well for sales, but I think that pressure should be on the business side for us to get new players, because you want to get more players so that more sets will do well, because not every hero class appeals to everyone, right? And I think that's actually going to, it's both a good and bad thing, I think, right? Because sometimes some players will skip certain sets, but that means that we as stores, LSS, our distributors, everyone, right, needs to actually work harder to get more players, because with more players, then each set should do better, I think, in sales. And therefore, because every set has new heroes that will appeal to people, right? Yeah. So yeah, it's tough. I think card game business is really tough. Sometimes I wonder why I got into the card game business. Yeah. Okay. I think that's enough about the heroes of Rosetta. The next topic I want to talk about is a bit more controversial, because I've been dipping my toes into the world of Magic, and I think everyone here on this pod, whether you are a Magic player or you are a Flash and Blood, all of us would have heard about the recent ban this week on four major cards that are played in Commander, right? So
Yeah.
the cards in question are Dockside Extortionist, Mana Creep, Jewel Lotus, and of course Nadu again, right? Nadu Wing Wisdom. I think no one minds Nadu. I think no one minds the Nadu ban, but and I think Dockside Extortionist as well. It's a card that creates treasure tokens, and then you can use it to get. I think you can use it to get infinite mana. I think
Yeah, I agree.
no one's too bad. No, I think no one is too hurt about those two cards. But the cards that really hurt people are Commander staples, right? And also the
Mana Crypt
competitive. Yeah, Mana Creep is a
and
huge,
Jewel Lotus, yeah.
and Jewel Lotus, right? Yeah, I think this is what made a lot of people get very upset with the ban, right? And funnily enough, we just had a recent ban in Flash and Blood, right? Like with Art of War and all the different homes, right? And they all involve card draw, right? But in Magic, right now the current hot topic or the current impact of the bans is actually about fast mana, which is so you can get so you can get more mana to can do more things in the early game. So what do you think? I mean, what do you think about card bans? Is it? I'm actually have mixed feelings, because I've been talking to different people, hearing different sides of the story. I feel the pain. I really feel the pain of the community. I've been also seeing people like there's actually a rules community, a rules committee in Magic, and they're actually external parties from Wizards. They are more like volunteers who actually help to oversee the rules for Commander and things like that. And it's actually a bit sad to see some of them coming under personal attack for being part of the
Yeah, I saw
community.
the news.
They're part of the community that made the decision. Um, I don't know. I mean, in card games, sometimes people can get really into it. I mean, not wrong. I mean, but sometimes I think we forget that it's actually still a card game. And yeah, but I think it is a painful decision. I don't think the decision was made lightly, because some of these cards are quite expensive, right? Because they're hard to find, and some people actually really, really set aside quite a bit of their personal funds to be able to buy some of these cards. So it's actually a big impact, right? Yeah, so I think that the world of Magic is reeling from this. I can feel it myself, and I can see a lot of people affected. I've talked to some people who have these cards, some people who just bought these cards, which I can feel that they feel I can feel their frustration, and also the financial pain, right? Because they actually sacrifice quite a lot of money to buy some of these things. So yeah, but I think bans are unnecessary. Maybe in this instance could have been better done. Like some opinion are that they could like stagger the bans. Right?
I think, yeah.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
could
I
have
don't really play
approach.
Magic that much,
Yeah.
and especially Commander. I don't really understand how Commander works, and from as far as I know, these cards are banned in Commander, right?
Correct. And then one of the cards, Dual Lotus, is actually a commander only card, which is like
Yeah,
which is why people are very upset because commander is actually a casual format, right? And sure, there are some people who like commander playing more competitively. Like I actually participated in a CEDH game a couple of weeks ago. Just I mean, some people were playing somewhere. I was there I had some time, and they said, "Why don't you try? Would you like to try a CEDH game?" And I didn't I personally quite enjoy it because I'm still new at Magic because CDH is like a lot of things happen very fast because of all the interactions, right? And I
yeah,
don't understand what's going on. But I do
yeah.
what I do understand is that in Magic, if you have what we call a mana rock or things that can give you fast mana, which means right, in turns right within the first 3 turns or whatever, right, you can have a lot of mana on the table. In Magic, every turn you play one land, right? So technically, if you're on curve your resources, in turn 3 you should just only have 3 lands at most, right?
Mhm.
If you're on curve. Then when you have cards like Soul Ring, Mana Creep, some of these cards, right? They give you what in Magic terms is called fast mana, which means by turn 3, you would be able to have maybe 5 or 6 mana, which allows you to do a lot. Because Magic, unlike Flesh and Blood, Magic is a game where you start slow, right? So it's like you are a wizard, you're just coming out, you're casting your spells, but you cannot play much yet because you don't have the resources to do it, right? But in Flash and Blood, we start fast, right? We start hot. We start with full power, and then if you continue fighting your opponent, you get weaker because you use all your strong attacks, and after you become very weak, right? But Magic is different. Magic is the opposite. Magic starts slow, and then as the game progresses, right, your spells become stronger. You can do more stuff because your resources increase. So cards like these, like Mana Creep, Jewel Lotus, in competitive decks, actually, I don't quite understand competitive EDH. I don't know why people want to play EDH in competitive form. Personally,
Yeah.
I don't understand it. Wait, not that I don't understand it. I do understand it because they want to be able to do all the fancy combos and all that because that's what those kind of players like, which is perfectly fine. But I personally don't like it. I feel that Commander should be a game that you interact with the people at the table, all of you, right? And we all deserve to have a bit of fun playing our decks and be able to do what the decks do. But anyway, nevertheless, these cards are there, and they are used for these kind of purposes. So yeah, but I really can't say whether it's good or bad. I
Yeah, I
don't have
mean,
a full I don't understand the full impact of the bans because I'm a more casual player, right? I do enjoy
yeah.
Commander now,
Mhm.
learning how to play it, and I personally don't like decks that don't interact with other people, right? But that's my opinion, right? I think in card games, the hardest thing to balance for the game company like Wizards and the rules community is that how do we how do you issue bans and things like that make the game a pleasant experience for everyone, right? Because all of us are paying customers, correct? We all buy the cards, we buy the products from LSS, or we buy the products from Wizards, right? And all of us deserve to have a way to have our fun, right? But the question is, how do you create a healthy environment where players are able to uh, self-regulation is one, but sometimes self-regulation is not enough, right? Because obviously in card games, sometimes you can have some people who are a bit more. I hate to use the word toxic, but they come to the game, they don't they sometimes just want to give other players a bad time and they want to feel good themselves. So that's unfortunately some part of the card game community. And I think bans like this are supposed to help, deter this kind of behavior, right? I don't know. It's a very complex topic. I don't even know
Yeah.
whether it's right or wrong. Like Art of War and the Tome bans in Flash and Blood, I fully agree with those. Because those cards are card draw cards, right? And I think people who play card games will recognize that when you have more cards in your hand, is can be overpowering for other people, right? So yeah, it's it's a very complicated topic, card bannings, and I can see why people sometimes get so upset about it. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know. Flash Emblem is still very
Well,
young, right? So a lot of room to
mhm.
grow. So I so far I think the team at LSS has been pretty good at doing ban and restrictions. So hopefully they continue to go on that way. When the game gets bigger, I think it's going to get a lot more complicated when the ban is issued out, right? Yeah.
Well, I mean, first of all, from a non-player point of view, seeing how someone play competitively in a format that is intended for casual play is weird.
Yeah.
So when you go to a CEDH event with your $10,000 decks and you just win turn zero against everyone, I think it's just unhealthy. I think in a format like that,
Yeah.
and so I mean I can see how these bans are needed, but like you said before, I think it should be staggered. Like,
Yeah.
and then comparing it with the Art of War and Tomb based in Flesh and Blood, in a way they are quite similar because in Flesh and Blood, card draw means more resources for you, card
Correct.
advantage, resource advantage.
Yeah.
Like I also a Prism player. I was also a Prism player, and I had my moments with double tome turns, triple tome turns, and it
No
just feels
divinity.
dirty. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I understand now where it came from, but I mean, you can't really satisfy everyone with the decision with the any band decision really. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
some people will just support it, some people will just be against it. So yeah,
I
you
know.
cannot really make everyone happy with how you ban cards. The one thing
Mm.
that you can do is how you deliver the ban and restricted announcement to the players, and that is one thing that I like about LSS, about Flesh and Blood, about
Mm.
how they give their reasoning good enough reasoning for us to they explain their bans well, and from the articles that explains the magic bans, it
Mhm.
just feels lackluster, I think.
Yeah, but I think that's also because a lot of the ban and restriction announcements come from Brian Gottlieb, and Brian Gottlieb used to be a lawyer, right? So I think
Mm,
he's much more articulate. He's able to word it better. You're right. I think when I read the whole article, for example, for the Art of War, the different tome bands, right? It was very well articulated. You could understand it. You could see where they're coming from. You could see the heart for the game. But with the Wizards one, it was quite short, right? The explanation, like when you say why Mana Crate is banned, it was pretty much like a copy paste onto the Jewel Lotus one, right? So I'm like, okay, yeah. I mean, being someone who's in the industry now, who spent 2.5 years of my life, I mean, spent 2.5 years of my life in card games, I actually really take it seriously to read about it, try to understand the topics or the what I call it, the issue for certain things happening in the world of card games, right? And
mhm.
I mean I mean from a being someone in the industry, I could actually I could understand where they're coming from because I can see with the eyes of someone who actually cares for the community, who wants people to have good play experiences. And I can see that's where they're trying to what they're trying to address, right? They're trying to give everyone a good a good play experience without that so that more people can play the game. But at the same time, also there are other factors that are opposite to what you want to do to have a positive play experience, right? And this, I think, I
Yeah,
don't think this was a very easy ban, right? From what I could tell, I think the rules committee was actually debating it for over a year, and then finally, I think decided, I think they took a vote, right? And then some people obviously voted against it, some were for it, and ultimately the ones who voted for it won the vote, which is a democratic way to do it, right? Um, but it's hard. I think with Magic being such a long running game, and with so many people who've invested heavily into the game, there's bound to be a lot of people who are affected by it. And I think it's a fair feeling to feel, right? Because we spend a lot of money on these games, right? Um,
yeah, true.
and yeah, I think we also put a lot of our emotion into building decks and things
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
I
So
mean,
yeah,
I can see that the band itself has good intention behind it,
yeah, of
but
course.
yeah, just
Yeah.
seems a little bit too rushed.
Yeah, especially because some of these cards are key pieces in almost a lot
Yeah,
of them, right? I think that was a major impact. That's why. Yeah. Anyway, this is. I think I feel sad right now thinking about some of my friends who have all these cards and all that. it's actually a sad week for Magic, I think. Yeah. So I feel for all of you guys, so cheer up. Um, you know, I think there's a lot of not confusion. I think a lot of people now are very uncertain. They're not sure what direction Magic would take, because it seems like like nothing is sacred anymore, right? Like any card, if it's too powerful, it would leave the game very fast. I don't know. Yeah, Commander is a very funny format, honestly, for me. I think it's supposed to be casual, but at the same time, there's some people play competitively.
Yeah.
I like Commander. I think it's a nice format, but it's a very strange
I
format as
haven't,
well at the same time.
yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't really got the chance to try it. Maybe sometime in the future. I do have a commander deck. I have a Necron deck, mono black Necron deck,
Oh,
the
is
one
it?
with the Warhammer 40K collab.
I have I think right now 8 decks. Because
Wow.
when I first started the store, and then when we learned about the Warhammer decks, right? I bought a set for
Uh-huh.
myself, so I have all 4 of the Warhammer decks complete.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, complete with Ultra Pro sleeves. I couldn't get all the playmats, unfortunately. But I did manage to get the Tyranid playmat from Ultra Pro. I ordered it from Card Kingdom. It was quite expensive, the shipping. I also got the deck boxes. So my Warhammer 40K decks, I don't want to touch them. I don't want to add new cards to them at all. I just want it to be Warhammer, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, shortly after that, I think there's Lord of the Rings as well. I bought all 4 as well. Uh, I recently just opened them because I want to get some cards from them to enhance my Eldrazi deck. Yeah, so I just leave them up like just last week, right? I had the decks for
Mm-hmm.
over a year, right? But I didn't open them because I at the point in time my store wasn't doing Magic, right? So I finally cracked it open, and then like I sleeved them all up now. So now I got 8 Commander decks. Oh my god, so many! Oh, I more than that. I have also had the Bloomburrow Commander decks. So I think I've got like 14 Commander decks, right?
Oh
Uh,
my God, that's a lot.
yeah. No, I think the reason why I have these decks as well is because I eventually want to have them in the store so that people can enjoy these decks and play with them from time to time. Because Commander is a fun format
Oh,
when you have more people, right?
that
Uh,
that's one of the perks of being a store owner. I have many decks. Oh no, this is not my decks. This is the store's decks for
Not
everyone to enjoy
really.
the
I
game.
think okay, all my decks I paid for them myself. But I leave them in the store because I want the people to play, right?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I'm
Same,
planning.
same.
I'm planning in the next for Magic. What I want to do in my store is actually to buy some of the product and have them to be store decks, and maybe have them have a simple rental scheme where you can just try different commander decks and you just pay a small fee to play a commander deck. If you really like the deck, then you can buy the deck, right? Because I think what's interesting about Commander is that there are all kinds of decks coming out all the time, and every deck plays differently, right? If you and
Mm-hmm.
the thing about Commander is sometimes you need to find a play style that you like, right? Like right now for me, I quite like the out of the decks, all the decks that I have right now, I like the Raccoon Bloomburrow deck because the Raccoon is able to create enchantments, and the enchantments can become creatures can attack because of the commander. I also like the Necron one that you have, that you also have. I like that deck because I don't know. I like to mill things now. All these in card games. And then right now the one that I really am enjoying is the Eldrazi deck, right? So I think with Magic the Gathering, because of how many types of cards that are available and the different types of things you can do with the commander abilities and all that, right? Sometimes it's very hard for a player to find a deck that they really like, right? Because there's so many that come out, and then you can watch videos and all that. But it's always very different when you actually sit down with the deck, when you shuffle up the cards and you play. Then only you realize, okay, I actually quite like it. When you watch it on the YouTube video, yeah, the guy is an expert, right? He play the deck really well. But then, like for example, sometimes when I see a video online and I have some of these decks, right? I see them play the deck. I'm like, why so smooth, right? They know exactly what to do. They know which card they should be playing on the specific turn. But when I'm playing Commander myself, right, I feel like I'm very clunky, right? Very clumsy. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, what do I play? I look at my hand, 7 cards. I'm like, okay, the land dropping the land is quite simple sometimes. I mean, you know what you need to play for the land, right? And after I look at the rest of my cards, so which one should I play first, right? I don't know, right? Sometimes I think that's the challenging part about Commander, right? Yeah. So yeah, I think you should try. I think when you guys come down, I can bring out some of my Commander decks. I can help you help you. You can play, and then I can teach you a little bit.
Oh yeah, sure,
Yeah.
sure.
But I honestly don't think Commander is the best way to start playing Magic. I honestly think that formats like Standard, even the commoner equivalent of Magic, which is Pauper, right? Those are actually
Mm-hmm.
better ways to play, because when you play a 1v1 format with a play set of cards in a 60 card deck, for example, that's actually the best way to learn Magic, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I can play Commander better because I play a bit more. I play quite a bit. I play some Standard now. So I think that helps me to understand how to play the game, and then because I do that, right, then now I can play Commander better. Prior to this, when I was first opened the business, when I first started to explore Commander a bit, I really felt I didn't know what I was doing, right? Because 99 cards in your deck, and you only see one card. You see only
Mm-hmm.
every time you play, you can only play one card, two cards, and you sometimes in the game you never see the whole deck, right? You only see maybe 30% of your deck, right, before you
Yeah.
are good, right? And I think that's a very complicated format to play. But nevertheless, I think it's a fun format to play because every game of Commander is always different, right? Because you have
Yeah.
99 cards. You sometimes don't
Yes.
see you can see all kinds of card interactions, and every game is unique. I think that's what's interesting about Commander, right? You never play the same game all the time. Whereas when you play a 60 card format game, it's the same all the time, right? If you build your deck that way, that's how it
Yeah,
plays.
because
Yeah,
you want to have the consistency of having the playset in your deck when you
correct.
play the normal game, right? In Commander, you only have one copy of each card, so it's
Yeah,
a
that's
bit
right.
more variative, I think.
Yeah, I think Commander is a very creative format. And formats like the classic constructor in Flash and Blood, standard in Magic, or modern or whatever, right? Those are more for more consistent play. So those formats are more competitive. I think right now Flash and Blood is missing a really good multiplayer format. I don't know whether Ultimate Creed Fight is it. I really hope that the PVE one comes out, because I really would love to play a Flesh and Blood dungeon crawler type game. Yeah,
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 that will be fun.
yeah. That would be fun. Something like a World of Warcraft. I would love to see that. Yeah. Right. I think we've gone on quite a bit now. I think let's just cap off today's pod to just promote the ProQuest season. So for those of you who are in Malaysia and in Indonesia, so ProQuest season is coming. Please support the stores that are running them. Go there to play. What is the price for the ProQuest? Is there a particular promo? I haven't been paying attention. I know you get.
Yeah, I think normally for ProQuest you have this black envelope gold foil, which usually contains common, rare, or majestic equipments.
Okay, I can't
And
remember.
then
Yeah,
there's also the rainbow foil heroes for top eight
yeah,
players.
correct. I read the progress once or twice so far already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot about the playmat. Oh, the playmat was Blanche playmat. Yeah,
Uh, okay. I don't quite like the art, but anyway.
yeah,
Yeah. Some of the top 8 playmats are really nice, right? I mean, I hope one day I can reach the top 8. I don't know whether I will be. Okay,
yeah.
so guys, I think we're going to cap off. It's actually quite late for us. I mean, for me here in Malaysia, it's already 12:30 almost. For Geoffrey as well, it's going to be
Yeah,
also close to midnight.
11:30 right now.
Yeah, yeah. So we hope all of you enjoyed today's pod. I know we talk a lot about deep stuff, but I think that tells you, if you haven't played card games, it's actually a very involved hobby. A lot of us are very passionate about the hobby because we spend a lot of time in it, and also because we love the game, right? I think card games are great for sharpening your mind. It's very strategic, and then we make a lot of friends. I think being in the business, I always meet all kinds of people. I can't remember everyone's names nowadays. I've just meet so many people. But I think it's been a fun journey. It will continue to be a fun journey. I hope I can keep this up. I'm not getting any younger. Yeah. So yeah, guys, go out to ProQuest. If you are still new to Flash and Blood, don't worry about it. Just you can look forward to more fun events in your stores. If you go to a store that's a bit too competitive, maybe you have a quick word with the store owner to ask, hey, is there something that the community can do or help you to actually have more friendlier games, less competitive games. so that you can learn the game. That's something that I advocate heavily, and I hope other store owners hear this as well, to create a safe space for players, right? Yeah.
Yeah, usually we as stores would try to balance between casual and competitive because we want as many people as possible to enjoy this game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's not easy. I know it's not easy. Yeah, yeah. Okay, guys. So that's it for us here at Trading Card Talk. We thank you for listening, and we hope to see you in the next episode in 2 weeks' time. So we promise we are trying our best to come up with episodes regularly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah. So yeah, but we're all busy people. We're trying to push out content regularly, and hopefully we'll be able to upgrade our content with videos soon one day. This is the easiest way to do it, audio, right? But yeah, maybe let's still get video soon one day. Okay, guys. Any last words, Geoffrey, for our listeners for this week's spot?
Well, not really. Just play and have fun.
Yes, play and have fun. So yeah, good night, guys. Thank you.
Card Delight, trading cards. It's time to join the conversation. Take a journey into the trading card hall.